the Supreme Court issue, which typically like Ghana, it has become a very, very, very partisan issue. So there are a whole lineup of troopers from the MPP who said this is not good for Ghana. This is the worst thing to happen to Ghana's democracy. And if we're saying we are democratic, then how come blah, 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 blah. And there are people from the NDC too who are defending it. No, 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 no. It's all part of our evolution towards democracy, and things must be done what they must be done. And I go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Folks, let me tell you this, where I stand. If we say we are practicing democracy, then those people who are bringing a democracy to practice, the same people have told us, and based on that, we wrote our constitution, that there's something called the rule of law. Rule of law. Which means, folks, listen to this, which means that in a democracy, where you have a constitution, the supreme thing is the law. It's not the president, it's not the vice president, it's not the king of Asantes, it's not the king of Achims, it's not the king of Dagombas, it's not the king of Gas, it's not, nothing has to do with it. Most democracy, dear, and the democracy, the practice is the rule of law. Technically, the people who are brought as the democracy that we say we are practicing, they have told us that the foundation of democracy is the rule of law. That the law is the supreme commander. And everybody, including the president, technically, including the vice, including all the Nananum, Santehini, Ochehini, Gahi, Gojahi, Zimahi, everybody, if we say we are practicing democracy, then technically it means that they are all subject to the rule of law. And the problem that we have in Africa, say, our culture does not promote that thinking. Our culture, our traditions insist that there are people who are above the law. We're hearing you, and they are culture. I think we are above the law. And pennyphobia above the law because we penny where you say. And technically, in our traditions, they are above the law. Can you imagine any situation where you say Asante Bediatuo now China Bibinti a police for Koho to arrest? No. They are above the law. I think Asante Bediatuo said some time ago, not to misquote him, something to the effect say, there's no law in Ghana that can overturn what he says. And the son of Ghana mem hatta that is our tradition. They are above the law. But so we have gone to take this thing on us that we say is called democracy. And democracy says it is not Asante, it's not touching, it's not crying, it's nobody, it's not the president. The supreme commander for which we should all obey is the law. And that's the constitution. Folks, if you think I'm lying, go and talk to your lawyers and your constitutional lawyers and Ubia also a constitutionalist, all that big academic words that you throw about. Go and ask them. If that is not what the rule of law means, come and tell me I'm lying. That is the rule of law. So folks, under the law, we are all subjects of the law. And technically, none of us is above the law. So let's decide. Have we decided to say democratic? If we have decided to say we are in the Fourth Republic. Yeah, democratic. This is the Fourth Republic. Ghana is a beacon of democracy. Blah, 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 blah. With that is also the fact that we have accepted that we are democratic and we go by the rule of the law. And after I've talked plenty on the rule of the law, now let's come back to what is happening in Ghana. The law and the constitution states categorically, and we have seen it in Ghana, that when there is a legitimate petition against anybody, we are all under the law. When there's a petition against anybody, we must investigate the petition. And the law must take its course. You and I are here. What's the name of that shrag? I think it was chairman of the shrag, Loretta Lamte. And was it Anno Dompreh? I think it was Honorable Anno Dompreh, who actually petitioned the then president, the current president now, but this was done when Muhammad's first time. Anno Dompreh petitioned that the Loretta Lamte had done certain things that amounted to abuse of power. Whatever it was, I'm not going to go into the exact things, but there was a petition from Anno Dompreh that you have to investigate this chairman of Shrag, Loretta Lamte. Let the law take its course. Folks, it happened. Loretta was investigated and she lost her job because the law found that she was at fault. Okay. Did you hear any hula baloo? Did you hear any then time, maybe some NDC people saying, no, woman must rise because she's a woman and you're fair, giddy, giddy, giddy. Did you hear anything like that? No. The law took its course. The same thing happened to, shall I say Onyoba? Wasn't she the electoral commissioner? Was there not a petition against Charlotte Say? Was there not? And was the petition not investigated? And did she not lose her job based on that petition? So folks, that sense, what is going on is so much ado about nothing. Now there's been a petition against the Supreme Court, the Chief Justice. All of a sudden, all hell has broken loose. Why should this happen? Be there. This is political, this is partisan, this is whatever it is. Be there. You know, let me tell you why there's all this hullabaloo. Because we are still grasping the true meaning of this rule of law. Saying Ghana in Africa, there's already a conflict. Because in Africa, most people are considered above the law. Now we say we are democratic, and we have to understand that as part of our democratic thinking, we have to all know and accept that everybody is below the law. And because of not too much understanding, sometimes in Africa or sometimes in Ghana, when you say the rule of law, I'll ask you, the rule of whose law? I'm saying this because we have not fully grasped this thing properly. Say, Obia is under the law. No? Sometimes if somebody has the power, they can use the same law to subject people to different kinds of things which are not very... So because of that, we don't fully grasp it. So we say, the rule of whose law? If it's under Akufo Addo, no, see the rule of law. Likely, people are just saying, it's talking about the rule of law because it's the MPP in power and they want to do things that will favor the MPP. So now it's not the rule of law, it's the rule of MPP's law. Or if it's under Mahama, it's under the NDC, so it's not the law, it's what is favoring Mahama. So because of our partisan nonsense, we turn what is a constitutional matter into a partisan issue. I'm saying Supreme Court, I mean, commenting long for a while because I think, me imagine, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right, but I believe deeply in my heart that we are turning a constitutional matter into political debate. So we think that the law favors certain people, and there are certain people who are supposed to be protected by the law, but that is not true. The law is the law. That's why the symbol of the law is a blind woman with a knife, a sword. We're blind. Justice is blind. The law is supreme. It cuts here, it cuts here. But because we don't understand that, we have turned the law into a partisan issue. Let me tell you a quick joke before I come back to the partisan issue. Say, I can't blame Ghanaians. In Ghana, everything is politics. It has gotten to the point where if you are maybe doing a radio show and you say you want to discuss kidney problems in Ghana, you're a radio show host in Ghana, and you want to start looking at how the way kidney diseases are coming up in Yamano. In order to discuss that show, no, I can see the radio host introducing the doctors, no, to talk about the kidney. No. For the NDC, we have Dr. So, and from the MPP, we have Dr. So. You see how stupid that sounds? Kidney too is a partisan issue. But no, I'm just letting Ghanaians, all of us, become aware that the problem we are having in Ghana and will continue to have for a long time is that everything is partisan. So even if you have a morning show host who wants to talk about the kidney or the liver, they want to find doctors who's an MPP doctor and who's an ND doctor. NDC doctor. Rubbish. Crap. But it's part of the fact that we are not politically evolved as yet. Such democracy. Because if we understand democracy and we understand the rule of law, then we will all say that, to be frank, one of the people who are profound exponents and believe in the law and the judiciary is the current Chief Justice who is facing a petition against her. She believes in the law. She believes in establishing an equitable Supreme Court that will bring law to the doorsteps of the people. I'm quoting her. And she believes in the supremacy of the rule of law. I don't have a long clip. I have just some slight thing that she said. Listen to this.
No matter how many noises are made, the law is the law.
That was a very, very short clip. I said the law is the law, folks. And this is coming from the Chief Justice. So please, Ghana Bar Association, you're all lawyers. All the lawyers everywhere, you're lawyers. MPP, you have lawyers. NDC, you have lawyers. This is a country of lawyers. Do we understand what the CJS is saying here? That the law is the law?
No matter how many noises are made, the law is the law.
Is that a simple thing? The law is the law. And if you guys are all talking about the rule of law, then what she's saying is that the law is the law. And see, I've said so many things. I've told you what happened under Mahama when the Shrag chairman was petitioned. There was a petition against her. She was fired. I told you what happened when there was a petition against Charlotte Osei. She was fired. It was the same article, 146. So what is different this time? How come that right now it has become a furore? The whole Ghana should come to a standstill because the Supreme Court, there's been a petition against the Chief Justice. No, I'm very, very sorry. The way I trusted the Chief Justice in terms of how principled she is and in terms of her direction, with all this furore, I'm telling you, I expected the Chief Justice herself to tell Ghanaians what is all this was about. As I've always said, the law is the law.
The law is the law.
As I've always said, we are all subject to the interpretation of the Constitution. As I've always said. So So if now there's a petition against me and I'm supposed to be subject to the law, why don't we allow the same law to work? Because the law is the law. Please, are you following me? Forget the partisan issues here. The law is the law. So what difference does it make if it's the Chief Justice who was falling under the law? It didn't make any difference when it was the Electoral Commissioner. It didn't make any difference when it was the Shrag boss. Did it make a difference? Why are we all of a sudden talking as if this is the first time this is happening in the history of Ghana? And to my friends in the NPP, why are you determined to make this a partisan issue? It is not. Unless you're telling me that KSM shut up by why I didn't tell that Charlotte was a partisan issue, and I'm not Dompreh to tell me to shut up KSM. Me I'm not Dompreh. Me I'm petition by a fee hono Lorette fee hono. Na a partisan issue. So you KSM and not Dompreh. Me shut up. Are you telling me that? If that's what you're telling me, dear, who you are, folks, the law is the law. Listen to the Chief Justice herself again.
No matter how many noises are made, the law is the law.
The law is the law. You know, so for me, you know, when we as Ghanaians decide that it's a good time to sidestep the law and turn this into a partisan issue, that's what we do best. Listen to Miracle Zabwaji.
Because I can bet you, man. So almost tosso no muji CJ we are catch her when say you won't quan they want one thing na MPP aba be mu Chief Justice bi owo be a ibe you know say you won't quan they want one thing na MPP aba be mu Chief Justice bi owo be a ibe you know I know dear yes you can yes ibe you know because member party no anybody you know yes you know
listen to that very partisan talk but Ghana so even though I don't agree or respect what he is saying, I know he's from Ghana, and in Ghana, like I said, even if you want doctors to talk about liver, you're being a partisan issue. It's the same thing Miracle Abwaji is doing over there. I want somebody to get up and say, look, Mahama, you failed. Mahama, this is what the Constitution says. You didn't do it. Mahama, this is the article that the Constitution says. You didn't do it. List it. List it. MPP, Pacho. Because the anger has become a partisan thing, and the anger is really coming from the MPP quarters. Please, you have intelligent lawyers. You have brilliant people. List it. This is where Mahama went wrong. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, up to whatever. And tell Ghanaians, say, you see that Mahama has sidestepped the Constitution? Tell us. Show us. You know? And people like me, and you know me, man, I'll be the first person to come and sit here and say, with all respect, President Mahama, this is what the law says. Mr. McCain, what the law says. Now, this is what you sidestep, so please, let's do this. That is how we build this nation. Oh. It's not this sycophantic loyalty to a party. It doesn't work. It is changing. It has worked for a long time, but let me tell you, eyeball to eyeball, say, this partisan loyalty, which we call sycophancy, which doesn't make sense. To hold a press conference and blah, 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 blah. You watch when we come to power, which no matter who the Chief Justice is, who change the Chief Justice, blah, 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 blah. Oba power na Chief Justice or this no MPP ni. How do you know it won't be an MPP person if we are going by the rule of law and democracy? How do you know? So please, let's grow Let's grow up. Let's start thinking. Yeah. Look, we will come here and every day sweat and talk about nation building. This is all the nation building. To the youth of Ghana, and I know that quite a few of you listen to this program, I beg you, don't grow up with the thinking of the generation ahead of you, because the generation ahead of you has screwed up. The generation ahead of you has screwed up. The generation ahead of you is that generation that is partisan. The generation ahead of you is that generation that is sycophantic. The generation ahead of you is that generation that is loyal to party. Please, your generation should be smarter and wiser and belong to any party you want. I'll keep saying that. It doesn't matter. Belong to any party you want, but let your party understand that even though you belong to that party, the most important thing in your life is the development of Ghana. The most important thing in your life is the progress of Ghana. The most important thing in your life is to see that life is changing better for Ghanaians. That the government has policies that is actually benefiting the bulk of the Ghanaians. We patrol the youth of Ghana. I'm begging you. So I can't go on my knees. The fact is I can go on my knees, but I can't get up. If I go on my knees right now, my producer will come and hold my hand. Sorry, you know, it's called old age. It's a B with an H. That play will be coming back very soon. There's a play that I've written. It's called Old Age. It's a B with an H. I can't say the word on TV, so I say B with an H. But that play will be coming on, and I'll announce it here. It's gonna be big. Maybe it'll be coming on at the UPS auditorium. I'll let you know. Stand by. But let's come to this thing. Commit me up Hamochoa and I'll go to Venice and beg you, but because old age is a B with an H, I can't go. But I'll beg you, please, don't follow in the same old rotten path that we have charted for you. It's not working. So avoid it. Completely. Tell your father or your parents or the generation ahead of you, my ate, me MPP, me NDC, me cheddar, me way. But do you hear me? What is important to me is that let's build Ghana. Let us build Ghana. Let us build Ghana. Oh. What else we want than to build Ghana and say with confidence, Mifi Ghana. Right now, you can't say that because there's so much bull crap in the system. There's so much nonsense in the system. So sometimes it comes in the way of boldly saying, Mifi Ghana. But because you are there, and because you're listening to Talk Shop, and because we want to build a nation, that mentality will change, man. So let me come back to this. Stop. Miracle Boakye, good friend of mine, me there will be I am Madame from or I am a back. Everybody's like my son now, including most of your MPs. My son, your nephews, their younger brothers and things. Because of the age that I thank God sent me to this age, and I'm proud of it. And the only thing that I think about is how can we build this nation so that before I go, I know that I'm leaving this nation a better place than I found it. Folks, trust me, all this fury about, and I had all the morning shows. It was all about the CJ. Chief Justice now, the injustice now, then, this is bad for the history of Ghana. This is
what His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and the NDC are doing now. They are forever destroyed our judiciary.
Please, it is the law. The CJ herself said, the law is the law.
No matter how many noises are made, the law is the law.
So I was hoping that the CJ will, she herself will tell you, Charlie, you guys, chill. We have seen this before in Ghana. We have seen it before in Ghana. I've mentioned 2 examples that we all saw from the same petitioning, from the same article, 146. Loretta's charge that people came up with about travels and expenditure in a manner or say it's not unlawful, that people petitioned Mahama about, that Loretta lost her position, is similar to what is going right now with the Chief Justice. So a petition has come out. Let the courts decide. Let the law rule. This is not the rule of the MPP. This is not the rule of the NDC. This is not the rule of KSM. This is the rule of law. So let the law decide. So what is the difference between the charges that was petitioned against the Loretta and that has been petitioned against the CJ? Listen to Sammy Jemfi here.
So we a Chief Justice. Now we tu kwan wa wo pemu ko wa ko ye wa de bi private akwantu a. Policy ni hye wo say nipa ba ko pe na betimi na tu kwan. O bodyguard. O security detail na betimi na tu kwan o bodyguard. Ono nko na betimi na tu kwan a aban be ye den e be fa ho ka. Sa wo di nipa foforo bi akwa wa na wo say wo fa ho ka.
Untimi ma o bodyguard na ntena say mfo bi foforo
nko. Policy ne say eye wo nam say wo ko private ntino unu bodyguard pe anti-Araba Chief Justice tu kwan akwa abruchira wakofa ni kunu asanso afa ne baba wanfa ba ko mienu ono ane private travel obi asable da wosalo edi susu wakofa ni kunu tietete wakofa ni kunu ono ane response moji to me that was a private trip wakofa ni kunu akofa ne baba
okay
atam Ghana sika twitwiri die be 2.6 billion cedis wakukuru sika twitwiri die odi atwa ticket amana ho business class watwa bia ma ne kunu aban sika o watwa bia ma ne ba odi akọ private trip private travel akwa bruchira kwa jinani vacation so kwa bruchira kwa jojo ne ho abruchiri kwa jojo ne ho wafa wo baba usika bebe went down to take it wo dia basika na ekotwa business class take it ama wo baba eni wukunu na dia ketwa ba kumpoi ana dia ketwa economy open business
yeah but
if
the response to that
tie o twawe ye no kwa ma ne nso we e no san so fa Ghana sika e no san so chema wo mo per dm dollars massa asembeni way how can anybody defend this
no
what would the entire council of state for nyina ejitu mu se maame no ye rense minimu what tam Ghana sika twitwidie e de twa business class ticket amawukunu ene wo baba asanso tua Ghana sika ma wo mo per dm in dollars enye cedi simple obi na Ghana yo maame no papa company and obi de company sika yesa enka wo mpamo no anentina Ghana ha politics nti yempe no kresa enti se John Mahama obi ofa ni Chief Justice and MPP for tie akonwa so and nipa kro no ko yesi aka MPP for kom enka petition ba ke beka se yemhwemo.
Yeah, so folks, it's much ado about nothing. Let the law work. And let's not make it the rule of whose law. It's not the rule of Muhammad law. It's not the rule of anybody's law. So please, let's wise up. Let's wise up. Oh. So miracles, when you come, so you put a new justice in power, and then what happens? Saboko and forever. What? This is crap. This is petty. Let us grow up and build this nation, folks. Let us grow up and build this nation. Oh. We have a nation to build. We do have a nation to build. And this is my plea. It is especially going to the great youth of Ghana. Pacho, Ghana is in your hands. So make us back. Honestly, How long do I have here? I have young people, my director, but honestly, we're leaving a platform because you guys are the rightful owners who are going to come and take over. So we're giving you the foundation to take over and build this nation, folks. Because we don't have a choice. We don't have a choice. So now I see what Trump is doing in America. He used to run there. And let me tell you what Trump is doing in America. Very soon it will happen in the UK. Canada, but we have to say and pay immigrants where we Crumbia. Let us build our country so that they'll be rushing here. Say, yeah, my visa.
Yamame Justice Torkonoo. Unsia wono 11 September 1962. Okay. And Oshe na year Ebra Odwane Ayeba 14th May 2004. 2004. Ana Yadinoko High Court. Wow. Na Oshe honum up to 2012. John Agyapong Kufo and appointing ko. Ana John Mahama. Ana John Mahama. A man is free High Court at the Appeals Court. Mamino. 2012. Yes. October 2012 to December 2019. Wow. Ana Nana Akufo Addo, a man so from Appeals Court at the the Supreme Court. Wow. On so a year 2019. 2019, yeah. 2019. Oh, but two be more Supreme Court. That's right. Tama oko High Court no. Afi Anna Justice Bafu Boni oko Supreme Court. That was 2008. Bafu Boni call 2005. 2005. When 2004 na yadino call High Court. Anna Bafu Boni then I think say 2008. No, 2005. Okay, with that. Jeko for time 2005. And what no eko honum. Eti utimu say watena wache. Answer mami ba. Eti say ye nominate you from the Appeals Court to Supreme Court. Wakwa to senior for Justice Poor Man as so ko am say 2015. Yeah. Any ade. Muntetre 2016 what to be. Ya de wako 2019 na pa ya your chief justice. I'm so worried. I'm so worried. Eti wo hwe ade na utimu say ye call by rules of engagement. Ewo how are ye select yina seniority na do baby a atuguba ebe ye yina no eye because say no wodi animu aye sign no e de kokoma ni pa foforo so on eje no na ke say atuguba and the chief justice ade ye twa no ho am say omode ma Sofia Kufu so eti sadwe manuama we bi ana etoda ema oman ye den yenko yanim na maye brief ayi kakra Torkonoo Efri Winneba in the central region of Ghana. Afenyo. That's right. Enti wode make na wo connect dots no ne ekaika ho. Enti Afenyo timi issue rate on 12 noon. That by 2 ni aye Monday ni etie. No bi susu di akwakoda ho no ma mosumi mienu mosumi miesa ni emfiu ni ade no. Sabe pepe. Enti sa what say? Winneba powers. Afenyo Markin said ya bre defend na chese wa hu baby free. Wa MPP Afenyo Markin. Yeah, no hu baby free. So on yete no. Eti say ma me ni esi anaso yesi nde. Ya na me mpese meko into that you say ebia what you say. After all, in the line of President Mahama left from baby edible baby. So on yete no. Time be any. Into time be any. Me nko ka say wo sa party we na say wo sa party sana bi munti sa na wo hwe yese wo ne ye ene usuban ana ebe ya de no yese wo ho fe de obeko na usuban de obeba so ho ne ete no yes wo ho fe de wako obia jatum say yes we chief justice wo tutu nua kama ne mbom wo ne ye bi ne ye no ebi ni sei wo hwe kwan ya ofa so Ebra na omohwe sa election related issues. Na tadio sorry sorry ya will raise issue against one of the panel members. I walk at your say, Sa papa ya what you hear. You what Nasubia enye. I didn't know what Nasubia enye. Because we contested as MPP parliamentary candidate in one of the constituencies in Volta region. Eti what Nasubia enye. Wokita the poster. Ebra or contest here ni poster me say asem na work na to Chief Justice no presiding. Oh Mr. Sorry we've heard enough. It's okay sit down hey lawyer ni jina wani mu kasa enti mando kwan kra na ko wie
mo yes our video ni ma me Cecilia whatever
so
production team
mando kwan na ka won kasa because we are raising serious allegation against one of you. Eti wamo just one example. You can say evident. Or twaso just or twaso obey expose you omuntino. And the woman in Kasakra. That was shutting it down. Look, one of the basic year, as I say, Chief Justice would say, will be to me a control temperament. Say, we Chief Justice, and I say, Okokonya, how can you run the judiciary? Say obi can have some legitimate concern. Now womanenka obe shutting it down sadie. I don't think say fair. Eti eno ebetimi aye one of the reasons in there among for so now hwe say ne o se ye no e wo court ho na clearly no you can state it as misbehavior. So ne te no eno no free ho no mo ana ya bobo so say ehun sika say ne ne gakeka ho. Now you see I don't know now when it comes to travels, there were official travel and private travel. Nijina is captured. The official travel no kwa another day kwa with your security detail. So no state no and the fahoka. Say kwa private traveler and no state no efa won kwa wo hoka sa audit ya omuye ya oka se wo use kabi no na ege official travel. It was a private travel. Onene kunu ne ba no na private
no makoje pedem
makoje ho pedem $10,000 mo yi at a point kra no ye se do mo ho no mo wo san frɛ kra mo musa change ticket no to word BBB or more upgrade from business no e ba no call first class.
What I say
no kwa na more upgrade e ba no call first class no o mu say tua $9,000 in addition.
They take it.
Yes.
Bomaneka
adia chese auditor general na capture side way no.
Captured in the auditor general's report.
But auditor general, why auditor general assembly here can?
And Akufo Addo.
I don't much the money. Now we are quite some Mahamadu. Auditor general.
Auditor general.
So, and then no Anka Sakrano, but they say judicial secretary no a call for that audit. And no more ye, I just say Adinaba. Now Edru baby, after was say 9,000 na. Omo ye na additional ne de obetua fidie na cho
papa nka obetua
fidie na yi no
just odi mi tie ko shema na so do ko
ne ko she wire no
yeah ehim just o twin ko ba bia mfa the mere fact say wagia to mu say the mere fact say wagia to mu say oh adina mfa kwa mu eti metua ne bag no asset ground yes. Oh my boy, I'm a boy. It is finished.
It is what?
It's finished. It's finished.
It is finished. You see, these are some of the things. What say? Adamungo God. Well, most of them not all. So they tell What would they tell Supreme Court judges say, I'm talking 14 cc. Emu 2 pe. Anabako every President Akufo Addo free John Mahama.
That can I don't go for.
12 na Kenya President Akufo Addo. Ebra wa appoint o mo say hey who package judiciary no wodim the opese woye because or more said the next 20 years no they should have total control in the judiciary.
Atia fashion.
So that no we go kwatena
Unim dintia. I'm sure I know tell me. Why Nana Addo any team no episode will take you over judiciary. Let me tell you something. So as a result of this
book we did in the captain.
Murder in the palace at Chebi.
Murder in the palace
at Chebi. It was written by one ACP H.A. Nyama.
We are book on Ache.
Oh, Ache. Okay.
That's the name of the name of
time na war pay. Also, there were 3 arms of government.
Yeah.
Now your executive, your legislature, your judiciary.
Yeah.
Now, executive no. Now mo fi sa abrofo no be dan ama JB dankwa. Abrofo na anye. And there's a book a chere wire. Na abrofo no mpene say JB dankwa. Betime di o man name. There's a book which they know. Because now abrofo no nim say JB dankwa a traitor. Odidi Kwame Nkrumah hon konkonsa na CIA fo etua ne ka
America
through American embassy. Chokwa anu akwaje kewu. Chomo chi ni tum kura na na sika ne nko no. Oba no kwa American embassy ambassador no so ekobisa say why are you not paying me?
Kodin sekuro.
Efe no to ho. Eti executive ni fi wo monsa. Kwame Nkrumah fi Western region. Waba Accra. Abeji ododo aboso. Ema JB dankwa ama people teacher. I cannot to form say team.
Even in prison could have been.
Enti when nya executive arm of government no. When nya judiciary. Then afterwards no, JB dankwa was defending this case.
Murder in the palace at Chebi.
Okay. And then they realized that say nya executive. Na nya legislature there.
Judiciary no.
Ye judiciary hone there.
Yamfa.
Ye betimi abɔ awuram
apake ho
afa ho no sɛ de yɛn pe nti efi na akui no krachi ni bia wo yɛn busuan mu
ɔsɛ ɔyɛ law
wo ahemfie ha no ɛsɛ ɔyɛ law
by force it's a mafia
ɛsɛ sɛ ɔyɛ law because ni na kɔgoroba yɛ de aban case beba court
ɔbɛyɛ mmeranimfo
ni na kɔgoroba yɛ de legislature asem no yɛ de beba court nti yɛn so yɛnge judiciary no emmo so and inside this book bet so mu twa sika to one mu tua bribes for cases em na make am
book no na eka
another day story
asama na mike am say say justice atugu babeye chief justice no yɛ de ma George na Wood no peni bi attest abra mi sisi a eti nanka on nanka eseye ana yɛ san no ho ne de ma George na Wood ani ade eti sadwe ba we nyina ayɛden akoso a bibia sɛde wo hwɛ do no yɛm paki hɔ nom ne ade eti yɛka sɛ mo yayi mo paki hɔ last minute kura sɛ omo de nomination ko na minority amana amaso vete no anti mama so on
to Supreme Court
to Supreme Court come sa the two kwako ka na ka 16 eti wo de yɛn set panel be yɛ ne oho no chese office I mean it should not be so na me benim say sadi we ekowie committee ni wie na dwuma na afi omo recommend say on konko tranchen a wo wie na president confirm the acting chief justice
justice Bafuboni
no de ba kumienu bi kokoka ho a afi na ora dwuma no ba be hyase afi ana
justice Bafuboni so na yire Mrs. Bafuboni so na call director general prisons order ho
sir
na yire
oh I see
ochi corruption man
on pekata
papa no
oh sir me never
obehe omoso ho
oh me no
ochi corruption
by the way principle
papa no
Mrs. Bafuboni
yeah
on pekata
fa fa ni de chi be 3 kilometers away obesense apa
ata se chale pro
Bafuboni
yeah eti media me medium say this country you be move to right direction.
To hear me say bafu boni na do no so a Akufo na appointed no.
Oh dabi. Look, she. When we say udim raswa, it doesn't matter. Nipa no ne political affiliation. Or be lawyer to you. Now there's a man for sensano. It is how the manner. No, was it a walk with the MPP? It is an away. What pay a lawyer to the state? State, you know, president is the state.
First gentleman of the land.
President can say a law. I don't even say
exactly.
What kasa say ene ma wo bia move nkwa ha say ya a law.
Won't we move you?
A law. What my directives are a law. Eti na dem wa ya ka dey say enti for just omo enya you know omo we me no. President are directed say collaborate with him and get to the bottom of the matter. It is security for omo tete wo yeden. Omo tete ho yeden.
Time in the vessel.
I don't know before set time no so as I say man just kino yes one persuasion phase force must be applied
jakpa
hwe ada asama na me no wo ka ewo ushoso
alatari no
alatari da me ka say omukoko bia yi ma no wo say me ka 18th January no wo sa ebisa bimpo okay to me e say so 18th December and I make 18 January. Hey, 18 for your fan World Cup. Hey, what say? Sabi, just say you Mahamadu get in Angasa, you be a man for Eddie America honum. God so good for me, or frame me. Adam Gajan man.
Recently,
me na me gajo. Adam say I sleep. A year 18th December 2024. Now, fi work grantee interview
on this.
No ade amede ayedo no angasa opa omie na nunka biem ensese ye de oman no edi agro asema ye ka ye serious issues look man so omo de atoto ayi say sweet spot omo ache yi container be passes they suspect say ebe this me say mo president Mahamadu ba mo na ban no mo na baso
boy juma
mo na baso because we be nani na first no na otete sade no
there be that.
Are you telling me say na no obo dey ba e kam ha da bia o na so ban bia ba we say look who this year you beka I don't know mo ba be dey na ade ba kwa ya me ya ne say look se mo chi say na mu jadi pana let us get to the political affiliation. Near Fanto Bonte.
Who more ye umudi said.
Omo yes I don't know which one more. Let us dig
deep.
Sans and phone bekaso ewokromasi. So that no. That me baby adameka. Hwe Bogabi me kokotena airport wo. Me de makuma fita.
Enti na ofri ho no. Omo ma ofri ho nya asembia.
Mini asembia. Na me je madwene say Sanu bone no ne MPP dini de eti no me make sure
bibia ntwam
mo obi nkonko gidi bone that time wo bo ndu bone na wo bo president Akufo Addo dia na eti me make sure Sammy ma bibia ensi ewo honum
ense ni din
so we dey no eti chese wo hwe ne akukọ koso na eyade a ehu kakra na wonim ma me digress kakra bi papa ya ye friend no Zoom Lion
say Japan
won say sa aprapra eya o sign contract with YE ma hu say Manase Azura raise issues bi na wo hwe issues na look media for mum picking it up mum make sure say Ghana emrantie ne mabawa wo mundam kwan ho prapra as a staff of Zoom Lion wo mu benya justice abani wa sign contract say bosume so a member 850 Ghana cedis sa 850 Ghana cedis no Zoom Lion de 250 enema omo ye adwuma no ono ankasa wafa 600 near there was say administrative charges. Hey,
is it true say it will be 250 Ghana?
255.
Bisa mo prapra kwan ho no.
Why a deep investigation on this?
Na first no brother say na omutua say 150. 150. And I need, as I said, you're making sure. See, I take this matter up. Now, me say, Malik Basintali, obey steady.
The new
CEO of YA. Malik. Man in science are contracting it. Wow. Man in science. Now, President, and she say, Biomama competition about system no. Akwa nipa baako the whole Ghana. Now no near home. Now na papa no be submit no more 45,000 people times 850 near tuama no. Every man do. Now, we go why here now bisa say under normal circumstances no. Why here for and the recruiting crofo no. No mo di ama Zoom Lion na omoye no omo di scanner ma Zoom Lion no otu omoka say why here wan ka say betima recruit nkofo a adentina say mo di kokoma no ade betu omoka
na equipment ni ade omo be use
equipment ni ye sen try ya jinjaja oni adimi gogo ye bi that's been ni boy ye sen
ye no mosuko
me say that's been ni boy ye sen
ye no mosuko
no Bogabi. They say I didn't know who that with him. The immediate passer, you can say CEO Akufo Agyapong. Obuye some Bible renew contract.
So could be answer our order.
Also our order. That time as a meal kuya board chairman, I could do a board Timika say, oh, Momano, Monfamano. Then we have Akufo Agyapong 1 year. So the nipa we board chairman chairman say chairperson ho Reverend Kwesi Boateng na yere Anita Kwesi Boateng wodo na ye board chair
na me
what's your most sign contract no fama yi Kofi Agyapong no
tell me ba me a wo hwe mani
Kwesi Boateng do
me na wo hwe mani me
say mo
Pastor Cathedral
ono wi a bete de ho
Pastor Kati Nigeria and na board chairman ho
family see why for
me say sad way. Look, I am saying it here today. NDC government, some most sign contract no, Emma Zoom Lion on this same condition. Hey, I can organize a demonstration. I can say Mahama Abai. I didn't. Look, so 1 year crowd or ma in Crawford 600. I don't know for 200 for administrative charges. Yes, 250 times 45,000. Yes, na obi kwa kwetira wiem eje se okwa kwa ya adwuma 1 hour wo kwa America na se wo ya adwuma 1 hour ya wan ya sika kra no eje $15 just 1 hour se sika wo ya twa omo no the whole month no $7 adan
obsi
adan
we dey betwa mu ye be di akire na ya do mo
no Mogabi sasemwe as say ya fan serious they make sure look let's fight for those people ya fight omo na say omo ayi koso a abaya tumbejo no.
Thanks for watching. Like and share the video. You can also drop your comment. Please don't forget to subscribe. Click on the bell to turn on the notification.